Hello, I'm back with a new video, and I was thinking that I would do a simple July flip through of my Hobonichi Cousin. So if you can't tell, it's wrapped, so that's why it looks like this. But it is a Hobonichi Techo 2025 Cousin, and it is an Avec. And I just wanted to give you a simple thoughts of July. July was the first month that I was in this planner because it is the second half of the year. And what's really exciting about this is that I kind of love this. I've really gotten good at really just fitting a lot of stuff in this. This is my catch-all planner. It is just about everything. Almost everything in here except for a few items, and I've really loved the idea of just fitting everything in one book. I think what has happened for me is that the only thing that really matters is the day. So what I do in the day kind of sets my direction for the next week or the next month, or etc., etc. What I've been focusing on is just building my day. And so that includes work, that includes exercise, that includes maintenance, and just all those fun little things that you just have to pack in the day, for lack of a better term. But nonetheless, I just have really just enjoyed this Hobonichi a lot more than I did in the first 6 months. And I feel like this is a new planner for me. I haven't used a Hobonichi Cousin before. I used a Hobonichi Weeks before. I've used printed planners. I've used things from a local supermarket sometimes. I've tried a lot of the planners on Amazon, including the Wordsworth and the Legend planner and all those fun things. And I have tried a few niche planners here and there. But nonetheless, this Hobonichi Cousin has by far been one of the most successful planners for me. And of course, this is supposed to be a July flip through, but I just wanted to say that because it just deserves the acknowledgement. So nonetheless, I have just a simple cover page, and then I did put a sticker for that awkward page that's stuck to the outside cover. And I believe the second half of the Hobonichi is a blue color. I can't tell, but it's a blue color. And even though I really like the blue cover, I was you know what, I've wrapped all of my planners this year, so I was you know what, I'm just gonna wrap everything. But nonetheless, the first is just the simple everyday calendar of how much time has passed. So it has been a month, and I am filming this on the 4th, so I'm just gonna cross those days off, and then I have important days circled so I know what's coming up. And then I also have a vellum pocket on the outside that I put scrap papers and stuff like that. And then this one, for the month of July, I didn't do anything because I didn't know what I wanted or what I needed. So I was you know what, I'm just gonna leave it blank. I can always fill it up with ephemera or stickers if I'm really interested in doing that. But I was you know what, let's just leave it until I figure out a purpose for it. And because we're 2 days or 3 days into August, I did start using it as a way to gauge my day. So I do a score 1 out of 10, and then I just add a bar for sort of the success of the day. Moving on, what I did do for this that I haven't had the time to update is a screen tracker. I noticed that the less screen time that I have, the better. And I actually, let me go ahead and fill this out really quick. So I haven't spent time to update the screen time because I was looking at my iPad, and I for some reason it won't look past the last week. So usually what I do is I actually will sit down and I'll just fill out the entire month for the screen time, but for some reason I'm still figuring out how to fix it. I did update my iPad, so I'm hoping that will do things, but I do have to update the screen time tracker. I noticed that having a screen time tracker is super important because what you can measure, you can manage. I'm pretty sure that's like a famous quote now or whatever, but I have seen like a lot of productivity videos in regards to just, you know, if you don't know like why you're not accomplishing something, just try to measure as much as possible and hopefully just make incremental changes based on that. So I think screen time is, I hate having too much screen time in the day. I want to spend time doing other things like reading or walking or whatever so that I can really be effective with my day. So having a screen time tracker has become very important. Next is actually my monthlies. Very simple monthly for July. I think for August I'm doing the same thing, yeah. So July, I'm doing very, very simple, minimalistic monthlies. I feel like this is most effective. You know, I even like thought like maybe I can put like a tracker here or something, and I didn't really like it. But what I do is I just go throughout the day and I just cross off the days that pass. You know, if there's any special appointments, I highlight days that I have classes because I do make an effort to like continuously educate myself, and that has been like really effective for me. I think that this plain monthly where I can just look at it and be like, oh my gosh, I have to do this today, or that something important is gonna happen. I feel like this is just like been a really good for me. And you know, I've kind of like let go of the idea of like maximalism where like every single corner of the page has to be filled up. I'm gonna enjoy the white space from now on. I'm starting to appreciate the white space more, so that's what I really like about the monthlies. As for the weeklies are kind of like this is my perfect setup. So what I have here, it's like over here actually, so let me pull this out. Yeah, I have this one, and I also have another one actually. I put them everywhere. It's like another, I don't know where it ends. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. I'm telling you, when I say that this is a catch-all, I'm telling you it's a catch-all. So what I do is I do have a weekly key. This has nothing to really do with the journaling method. This is like, I've realized this is the habit I have when I just write. It's just built over time. And what I used to do is basically, this is a weekly log. This is me tracking what I'm doing every day and seeing how effective I am. And I actually kept this up for 1 week. Yeah, and I'll tell you why a little later, but I really, really like this. I really, really like logging my day and figuring out what my day actually looks like compared to like what I wanted it to look like. So this has been really, really important for me, but I've kind of like, it's changed over time, but it's still there. And I've done the same thing, but what happened was I missed Monday, Tuesday, and then Saturday and Sunday. So what I did was I did fill them up with certain notes I was thinking. And then once I got to week 3, that's when I kind of just, I fell off. Yeah, I fell off a lot. And that is because you'll see in a minute what I started doing. But as you can see, like absolutely nothing by the end of the month. And I feel like that's okay. What I do is I will go back, and just like I did in the 2nd week of July, I'll go back and write notes that that I think are important, that I think I need to catalog. So for me, that's like one of the things I embraced after the first 6 months of using the Hobonichi, is that I just packed it with things that are relevant. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter how, as long as it's sort of cataloged and I kind of can refer back to it. That has become like a thing that I've been doing with this this Hobonichi A5 size. Moving on to the dailies. I did not fill out the turn to the page. I don't know why. I kind of got into the groove of things and I ended up not really touching it. But the next is, I gotta put these back in the pocket. I need to put everything back in the pocket. The next is the start of July. So what I did was, this was actually just a blank piece of paper. So if I go to August, it looks like this. It's just a blank grid paper with the August mini calendar, or I mean the July mini calendar. And so what I did was, these are the days I missed. It's a lot of days. You know, sometimes I was sick, sometimes, you know, I had family obligations. But because my life has changed a lot, I felt like I needed to have this. I needed to record what days were not as effective as other days. And for me, I also have to put like my win rate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I missed 14 days out of 30. That sucks. So it's like a 50% win rate. And what you call it? This, like the days that are not X'd out are days that I was working on my personal projects. So as you can see, I do have a paper that I kind of taped in, and it has the monthly, like, it's basically that habit tracker. But for me, I use it to catalog when I worked on the projects, or the, I wouldn't say habit, but the things that I just want to be consistent in. So I have content creation for like YouTube. I also have design competitions, design ideas, and stuff like that also incorporated. And then at the end of the month, I will put a reflection of the month here. I couldn't find any other place to put it throughout the daily pages. But what I do at the end of each month is I'll go and I'll like flip through these pages, and then I'll write down like what was most notable, what happened, what I failed at, and stuff like that. So this has become like a little essential to me now, just having a reflection at the beginning of the month, at the end that I've done. It's like, oh my God. But having this reflection has become quite essential. There's no really other place in the Hobonichi where I think I could put this. So this page has become quite important to me. And then I also have like page flags. I use page flags. I'll get back to it. But I do have like some page flags here, just FYI. Okay, and now we are in the dailies. As you can see, it's kind of a mess. And so I will, actually, let me go ahead and get it really quick. I gotta find where I put it. Here it is. Okay, so what I started doing to gauge how successful my day was I wrote down a schedule. The schedule has, things I want to do, for instance, like walking, running. It has a clean bed. It also has my work tasks. So I have a website that I'm building. I have content creation in here. I also have time for knowledge building, which is me just learning different skills that I think that I need to sort of push my career in the career path that I want. So this has become something that I just have as a little sheet with me, like all the time. I keep it in here. But it's not, as you can see, this is sort of the fruition of it. So, I start writing it on this section in the middle as a to-do list. And then like this was where I would write my log to take this information and put it in the weeklies. And so that's what I started with. And then at the time I have something called as many wins as possible. I think it's pretty popular on YouTube now, but it's logged into my A6 Hobonichi, and it looks like this. But like throughout, I actually like fill this up all at once, or like per week, because I mean, it only takes like 3 or 4 minutes to do. But to remind myself what I accomplished that day, I put it in this little checkbox here. And so I did that. And then this, as you can see, this is a day missed. If I look at my calendar here, that's also how I inform this little calendar. So it's the 4th, and as you can see, it's a 4th. And so, so as you can see, this is like that. That's that daily checklist. That's kind of like coming into fruition. And I have like morning, I have noon. You know, this is where it's coming. I have like a little brain dump section, accomplishments at the top, special to-dos. And this is like sort of how it's coming into fruition. And then days that I missed, that I'm like, you know, something happened. I don't know. I think like this was actually when I got my oil changed. And it literally took like 3 hours because it was at the dealership and like everybody was doing their oil change that day. So what I do is I actually wrote down some like productivity notes. And so I did that for the 4th, I did that for the 5th, and then on the 6th, I kind of got back to it. So I know that the 4th and the 5th were missed days. So that's where this goes. And then the 6th, as you can see, it's starting to like formulate itself. So I have that checklist in the middle, I have that log, I have that brain dump, reminders, planner updates, accomplishments, and it's starting to like continue. This is a messy page, but it's starting to continue to do that. The 9th and the 10th were also missed days. So again, it's been filled up with notes. And then, you know, this is a notes, and this is like a to-do list, and then it's starting to formulate itself. You know, this was the 13th was another missed day, so I filled it up with notes. You know, and then I also would paste notes in here because this is a catch-all, so I fit everything in here. But like, as you can see, more notes, more like that checklist kind of thing. And then I guess this was another missed day. Yeah, 15th was another missed day. It's okay. I knew that like this was gonna happen because like it's a new thing. Like I'm doing like new things this past month. Like I incorporated a lot of new, I wouldn't say habits, but like changes into my life. So 18th was another missed day, and I wrote down notes in here. And so then what I've started doing is that I just feel like the timeline at the side of the Hobonichi is absolutely useless. Like, it's really useless to me. And that is because it's not that big, you know? It's like this much room to write. And unfortunately, I think I'm like one of those like detailed writers. I have to write everything. And so like when you have like 6 and then 7, and so like every one of these blocks is an hour, but I'm like doing a lot of things in an hour. So it's really like, it's like, I love it. I love the idea of a timeline. It's just this timeline isn't my friend. I really love it though. It's like so nice and compact, and it's cute. It's like, I like it, but it's just useless for my lifestyle. And this is where like I've started to get like really effective when it comes to like what my dailies are starting to look like. Accomplishments are always at the top. You know, I always have that daily checklist. And then, this is kind of like another failed day. And then, you know, that's like, these two have become permanent things for me. 25th was a missed day. And this is sort of where I am now. So what I started doing is, again, I have this like to-do list, and that just sits all in the schedule or in the timeline section. I just fill the whole thing up with this to-do list. And this to-do list changes all the time. Like, I'm not married to this to-do list. There's times where I'll just pull out another piece of graph paper. I'll write down the things that are relevant. and I will just update it. What I used to do in the past is I used to do it digitally. And I would print it out and it would sort of like sit in my planner. The problem is with doing it like this is that this changes all the time. This, for me, like I do manipulate my routine depending on my needs, depending on my new aspirations, depending on things that I finished. So having a printed version felt like too solid for me, but like just writing this out and then throwing it away and writing a new one just was like an easier process for me, and it took less time and I didn't have to print and etc. But as you can see, this is sort of like my home now, if that makes sense. So that schedule is there. There's a goal crutcher, which is like things that like have to be done in order for the day to be successful. There are those things that I just keep on avoiding because they're scary or they're hard or etc. I also have work tasks. So these work tasks that I have, or like those sort of career goals I have, they're broken down into steps. And so those work tasks go here. And then I have other tasks, and other tasks will be like maintenance, laundry, clean the dishes, fold the laundry, clean the bathroom. Those tasks go here. And then my log became this. And as you can see, there's colors now. So I used to do the symbols, and the symbols are great and everything, but I don't know why it fell off, but it just fell off for me. I still love the symbols. It's just for the dailies, they kind of don't work because there's like, I want a key somewhere just to solidify the page for me. But colors, you don't have to do that. So this pink is bad, the green is good. So for me, okay, I think my sunlight just like went ahead and just went away for a second. I think the clouds kind of just, there's no more like sunlight anymore. So I'm gonna use artificial light now. But nonetheless, where was I? So I started using colors. So what I read online was there was this person who tracked their day this way. I still have the log of the day, and then I have the accomplishments color coded, if that makes sense. And just using two colors is really nice. And that has become the norm for me. So these pages do look messy. That is because my handwriting is messy. As you can see also is that I haven't been really using fountain pens. I have been using this pack of Staedtlers because my fountain pen smudged like crazy on this Hobonichi paper. I don't know if it's the ink. I don't know if it's the pen. I don't know if it's the paper. All I know is that it smudges all the time, and it's gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to use my fountain pens for like when I journal or something where I'm not really interacting with the page much. I'm just like writing. So for me, I've just, I don't like, well, I wouldn't say I don't like these Staedtlers, but for me they're not sustainable. Like, I really like the idea of having a pen that I constantly fill up because I just write a lot, as you can see. And so for me, I'm just going to use up these Staedtlers and then try to find sort of an ink that will not smudge on this. We shall see, we shall see. I did add a couple colors, and so I have the pink as bad, I have the green as good. I also am doing intermediate fasting to lose weight this year for the next 6 months. I have lost weight, thankfully. What I do is I do 8,000 steps per day, and then I do intermediate fasting from 12 to 8. I used to do calorie counting. I still want to get back to calorie counting, but it's a lot of work. Like, it is a lot of work to count calories. So for me, it's not something that I've prioritized. But with intermediate fasting, I feel like it's less work because I'm like, okay, 12, I can eat. 8, I'm gonna stop eating. Like, the only thing that I can have outside of the window of intermediate fasting is water, coffee, and some fruit, because those are things that, you know, have not that many calories, or is like a healthy option. So like carbs, I don't eat like any sandwiches or like, you know, basically no normal food. So that is what I do for intermediate fasting, and I have lost weight, thankfully, after a lot of like trial and error. I'm very happy. I highlight the things that are done, and I've just continued with that. Some days I've missed, as you can see. This is a missed day. This is a very bad missed day, that's for sure. But it's there, like it's there. So I have the schedule again with the work tasks. And that sort of brings me to the end of the month. And it's really nice. I really feel like I have, oh, that's another one. But I really feel like that this has become my happy space, in the sense that I look forward to filling this out every day. I look forward to highlighting these pages or highlighting the tasks that I finish. I enjoy seeing what my days look like. I do feel like I do want to get to a point where I can like glance at the page and I can see everything all at once. I can see what my accomplishments are. I can see like how the day went, and I'm slowly getting there, I feel. But like it's still a little messy. It's still a little messy, and I'm still working on it. I will do an August flip through later, just because again, I have implemented a lot of changes again for August. So I really want to, you know, keep this as a separate video. And nonetheless, I think that's it. I got a lot of scrap stuff in here. I feel like that's the one thing about the Hobonichi Avec. Like, it's like the one thing about this planner that I kind of wish I had, but I'm not willing to do, is have a cover. As you can see, I have scrap everywhere. I write down things, like there's sometimes where I just don't know where to put things, and so I write them on random sheets of paper and then I stick them in here so that later down the line I could find a place for it. But I'm still kind of working out those little kinks. Because the reason why I didn't get a cover for this particular Hobonichi is because I don't know if I want like all these because they're all reference papers. Like, that's why I have them like basically like pasted in. Like, I don't know if I'm going to like get a case or get like a cover, put the reference papers in these covers, and then like, you know, they're just gonna like sort of like be a pile of papers. They're not gonna be as quote unquote interactive, I guess you could say, as I want them to. And so because of that, I've kind of like been like, you know what, we're gonna do ourselves a favor and just not get a cover, and then see how it works. And not having a cover has forced me to find places for these random notes that I do. Random notes is a very bad habit I have. I feel like I do have to find some sort of system in the future to organize these notes, because I wouldn't say I have a lot of ideas, but I do a lot of like reading and research, and I enjoy like finding ways to make life better, if that makes sense. So like writing down little notes, like for instance, this is like my learning preferences. I think it's called meta learning. but it's like I took the test for how I learn, and I like write down the results. I'm like, where would you write down the results? And I ended up putting it in my Hobonichi. But for now, I do think that like this is where we're at for July. Nonetheless, I think I have very much ranted a lot during this video. I hope you're doing something else in the background while you're watching this, because I'm just doing a lot of talking, but I love talking through this stuff. For me, I think what I've noticed as I've started posting on YouTube and started like walking through these things with myself is that I'm also able to talk out a lot of my problems. And that's actually been very, very helpful for me, because I feel like I'm like doing some introspecting, for lack of a better term. Nonetheless, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!